Students, do you know who started Sulhekun? Yes, you are right. Akbar started Sulhekun. Students, do you know which dynasty Akbar was related to? Yes, you are right. He belonged to Mughal dynasty. Students, who built Taj Mahal? Yes, Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal. And my dear students, he also belonged to Mughal dynasty. Now students, can you tell me who was the last powerful Mughal ruler? Yes, of course, Aurangzeb was last powerful Mughal ruler. But my dear students, after the death of Aurangzeb, Mughal Empire started declining. So students, in this chapter, the 18th century political formation, we will come to know about the political conditions of India from 1707 to 1761. We will try to understand the causes of decline of Mughal Empire, and we will also try to understand the emergence of new political groups in the subcontinent. Dear students, if you look at the map first, which is given in your NCERT textbook, you will notice here that the boundaries of Mughal Empire, they were reshaped by the emergence of many independent provinces. Dear students, during 18th century, the new provinces, they were becoming independent, and some of them had already become independent. You can see here Sikhs, then Jats, Awadh, Bengal, and Hyderabad. Then my dear students, these Rajputs, they were becoming independent. So this is the political formation of India in the beginning of 18th century. Now students, if you look at the map number 2, this is also given your NCERT textbook, you will notice here that the new political formation is happening here, that is the coming of British East India Company. You can notice here that British had occupied the Bengal during the mid 18th century. But we will not study this, the case of British East India Company in this chapter. We will study about the political condition of India between 1707 to 1761. Now, my dear students, there will be some points in your mind that who were later Mughals, because you have studied about early Mughals or the great Mughals. Dear students, the later Mughals were the successors of Aurangzeb, and they ruled almost 150 years, that is 1707 to 1857. And you can see here the important among them were Bahadur Shah, 1707 to 1712, then Jahandar Shah and Farrukhsiyar, after that Muhammad Shah. Actually, these all were weak rulers. That's why they are known as later rulers. They were not as powerful as their ancestors were. So the ancestors of these later Mughals, they are known as great Mughals. Dear students, these are the 6 names of great Mughal rulers, and they ruled India from 1526 to 1707. So Babur was the founder of Mughal dynasty. He founded Mughal dynasty in 1526 when he defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat. After that, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, they strengthened and extended the boundaries of Mughal Empire. So they are known as great Mughals. Now, dear students, there will be a question in your mind that how such a great Mughal Empire, how such a vast Mughal Empire came to an end. So my dear students, beginning of the decline of Mughal Empire can be traced to the strong rule of Aurangzeb. After the death of Mughal ruler Aurangzeb, Mughal Empire started declining. Dear students, there are so many factors responsible for this. So we will study them one by one. So what were the crises of Mughal Empire? This is important question in your chapter. So Mughal Empire that declined in the 18th century, it started declining in the beginning of 18th century, and by the end of 18th century, most of the territory of India was grabbed by East India Company. Now how it declined? There are so many causes of the decline of Mughal Empire. First one is Deccan policy of the Aurangzeb. Dear students, Aurangzeb depleted huge financial and military resources of Mughal court during his Deccan campaign. So this is one of the cause of decline of Mughal Empire. Then second one is weak successors of Aurangzeb. As you are familiar that the successors of Aurangzeb, they were weak and they are known as later Mughals. So during the later Mughal period, the Mansabdar and Jamindars, they become powerful and they control financial and military resources. Next one is peasants and Jamindari rebellions in many parts of India. Another important cause of the decline of Mughal Empire is peasants and Jamindari rebellions. Dear students, peasants revolted against Mughal Empire and they revolted for two reasons. One was mounting taxes and second was to increase their power and strength. But the Mughal rulers, they were not in a position to suppress their revolt. The next is invasion of foreign rulers. The invasion of foreign rulers like invasion of Nadir Shah 1739 and Ahmad Shah Abdali was also an important cause of the decline of Mughal Empire. They looted and plundered the lot of wealth of India, and in this way they almost emptied the treasury of Mughal. Next is competition among different groups of nobles. Dear students, during later Mughal period, these nobles, they were divided into two rival groups. One were Iranis and other were Turanis. So this competition among them, that became the cause of decline of Mughal Empire, because they started humiliating and insulting the later Mughal rulers, and even you can say some of the Mughal rulers, they were assassinated, they are killed by the nobles. Now my dear students, what happened when the later Mughals, they were ruling in India? There the new types of political formation, the new types of political changes occurred. Now India divided into three different kingdoms, three types of kingdoms. So, one were old provinces. Old Mughal provinces, the rulers of these states maintained their ties with Mughal emperor. And second were Watan Jagirs. So several Rajput principalities which had enjoyed independence under the Mughals in their Watan Jagirs, they also became independent. Third category was Marathas, Sikhs and Jats. They were fighting with Mughal authority from the time of early Mughals, and they fought a long battle against the Mughals to gain their independence, and after the death of Aurangzeb, they became independent. So students, these are the three different types of states that became independent during later Mughal periods or during the 18th century. One was old Mughal provinces, second one was Watan Jagirs, and third category was Marathas, Sikhs and Jats, which are popularly known as sieging powers. Now students, let's talk about three major states here: Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad. All three states were founded by members of the high Mughal nobility who had been governors of large provinces. Saadat Khan, he was the founder of Awadh. Murshid Quli Khan, he was the founder of Bengal, and Asaf Jah was the founder of Hyderabad. Dear students, the founder of these provinces, they had been governors in the Mughal court. Now you can see the map of 18th century in which these old provinces, they started ruling independently. This is Awadh, present day Uttar Pradesh, area of Uttar Pradesh, and Bengal, you already know. So Bengal was another province, and third is Hyderabad. So these all were the old Mughal provinces, and they become independent in 18th century. Now how they become independent? So first of all, let's talk about Awadh. Awadh was a prosperous region and controlling the rich alluvial Ganga plain and the main trade route between North India and Bengal. Burhan-ul-Mulk was responsible for managing the political, financial and military matters of Awadh. He reduced the Mughal influence in the province by cutting down on the number of Jagirdars appointed by the Mughals and appointed his loyal servants in the vacant positions. Students, also he allowed moneylenders and bankers to be an active part of the state's revenue system. Basically, this was a big shift from the earlier Mahajan and local bankers. Here you can see the picture of Saadat Khan. He was appointed as a governor of Awadh in 1722, and he held the posts of Subedar, meaning governor, Diwan, finance minister, Fauzdar, military power. He held all these powers, and after he becoming powerful, he became the independent ruler of Awadh. After his death, his son-in-law Safdarjung came to the throne, and after the death of Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah, he also became Wazir for some years. He founded an independent dynasty in Awadh. He and his son Shuja'ud-Dawla brought about peace, prosperity in the Awadh. They extended their authority up to Rohilkhand territory to east of the Delhi. Now dear students, how Saadat Khan, he made his position so much strong. So what he did? He reduced the Mughal influence in his court. For this purpose, what he did? He reduced his number of Jagirs of Mughals. He also reduced the number of Jagirdars. So in this way, he became powerful and he strengthened his position.